I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. It's your girl, DYANAROZAY. I'm here to bring y'all the latest in news and reality TVT. Actually, I'm here to bring y'all the latest on Belle Collective. Oh, I say it so much, I forgot. I'm here to bring y'all the latest on Belle Collective. So welcome back to the Cookout, child. We are talking about Belle Collective, Season 6, Episode 7. This was a solid 10 out of 10. Okay. I loved it. I loved it. I promise y'all. Come on in, come on in, come on in. If you can hear the sound of my voice, let me know by putting your city, your state, your country, your island, wherever you are from, into the chat real quick. That way I know that my audio is working the way it's supposed to. Toronto is in the house. What's up? What's up? Happy Sunday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to have you. Daddy it? Okay. Well, listen, y'all. Okay. There's a little bit of a delay. What's up, Shonda? Is that Shanda? Shonda. What's up, Shonda? I have a cousin named Shonda. What's up, Weston Salem? What's up, Alabama? Nice to have you. Cleveland is back in the house. Clone is my real sister. We got the same mama, same daddy, child. So let me get myself up here. All right, y'all. We're back. I gave myself just enough time to take a little restroom break and come back through, okay? Hold on. Take the poll at the top of the chat too, because I want to know if y'all think that Leticia should have ignored that recommitment ceremony the way Marceau ignored Tisha. Come on in. All right. All right. Look, we got the cookout again, child. There's some people who wanted some leftovers. There's still plenty. So everybody make sure that y'all get yourselves a plate while we get into this review. So it opens with Miss Leticia returning home, child. Take the poll, lies, more lies. It opened with Leticia returning home from the girls' trip, Biloxi, Mississippi. And Glenn, child, is hoping that she is in a good mood, okay? He has ordered some Chinese food. It looks like he got all the meats, shrimp, beef, chicken, pork, whatever they can put in there, they put in there, child. And he poured a trough, and I'm not even making that up, of food into a plate and sat it where he was hoping Leticia would come in, see the food, and just be damn it happy, okay? But she walks in the house and she said that she needs a vacation from what was supposed to be her vacation. And immediately Glenn's face is like, why? Like you can tell he does not want to have this conversation, right? He's pissed. But she says, yeah, the two people that I cared about the most, the two people that I am always standing up for, pouring into. She said, because of y'all, you and Latrice, I am unable to relax, to rest. I am tired of these damn DMs. I'm still thinking about it. All the embarrassment that was bestowed upon me because of the shit the two of y'all did. Glenn literally looks at the camera like, what am I supposed to do? He looked at the camera Very similar to how Martell looked at the camera when him and Melody were in the coffee shop, or they went to get tea that day. Like, bitch, didn't you tell me that when she came home she was going to be happy? Yeah, I got that impression. Like the producers was like, well, she was in a good mood. Her and Latrice, they worked things out, whatever the case may be. He was not happy about that. Anyway, Tisha says Selena invited us to her son's home, and Latrice is going to be here. But even though Latrice is coming, I am going to be in a good mood. I promise you, I control my mood, my energy, what's going on with me. But I am going to be there, and so are you, for Selena and what she has going on with her late son. Actually, after this, Glenn starts pushing everything off on Latrice. He basically said, my problem with the Rogers is that I don't know if I can trust them. We were in their house, right? We were in their house. We should have been protected over there. I don't know if I could trust Glenn or Latrice again. Those two get him up on the nerves. Like, he's trying to push everything back off on them. And Leticia sees that as her way to say, well, bitch, if you're mad at them, you should be able to understand why I'm mad at you. So Latrice said, exactly. That's my issue with you, because you should have told me about Mandy Pandy before she told me about you. And Glenn screams back, Leticia, there was nothing to fucking tell. There was nothing to tell. Glenn, babes, if there was nothing to tell, you wouldn't be mad at your friend Cliff and Latrice. That's all there is to it. Come on in. Welcome, everybody. What's up, St. Louis? Nice to have you. Hit the like button, share the video, please, and thank you. Yes, child, you're back. Get yourself a second plate, okay? But yeah, if there was nothing to tell, then you wouldn't be mad at your friend Cliff and Latrice. You're trying to put all the blame on them. All your wife is saying to you, because she's asking for acknowledgement, is the same reason you're mad at them. You should understand why I am mad at you. If there's nothing to tell, then why the hell did she tell it? Why the hell you let Beetlejuice herself tell your story before you told it to me? Okay? Anyway, after that, Glenn tries to change the subject, and he said, listen, I'm going to need you to clear your schedule on Friday. I know you're busy, but whatever you got planned for that day, clear it. Clean. Because I'm about to take your ass to the moon, okay? And after he said he was going to take her to the moon, I couldn't help but to think, that's what Mandy wanted. She wanted you to take her to the moon, okay? So anyway, y'all, after all of that, come on in, hit the like button, share the video, please, and thank you. Latrice and Cliff are next. They're the next up in the scene. Cliff, who I like to call Woodstock. Y'all know he looks exactly like Snoopy's little sidekick. Anyway, Latrice went home to the mansion expecting to see Woody there because she had given him very strict orders, okay? She said, I don't give a damn what you do while I'm away, but when I get my ass home, you better be there. And before the street lights come on, because I'm not playing with you no more. You do not get to stay at them condos above the restaurant. I'm done with that. We're married. Bring your ass home. Well, when she got there, she looked around and saw that his ass was not there. And not only was he not there, he don't look like he's been at home, period, since the day she left. So he's been spending all his time at those condos. So Latrice put down one bag and packed another one. And she said, bitch, if this is how you want to play it, then I'm going to live with you in these condos then. One way or the other, you're going to do what you're supposed to do, as we're going to do what we're supposed to do as a couple. And Latrice went on down to the condos. When Latrice got there, she pulled that damn suitcase in there and said, hey, husband, I see that you still here? Cool. She went into the closet. She started moving shit around. She started hanging up her clothes. And she said, as long as you're here, I'm here, because that's how it's going to be, okay? She said, you are going to be by my side from this point forward, because I don't know what the hell you're doing. And you giving me hoeing energy. That's how I feel, okay? So when I move, you move. Not a second before or after. Cliff Woodstock was like, What? Wait a minute. I'm grown. I can do what I want to do. She said, no, we're not on the same page, but we're about to be. He said, well, I'm going to be on the front and you can be on the backside. She said, no, that's not what on the same page means. We're on the same page. Okay. Period. Latrice said that he will be glued to her hip from this point forward. Lock step. Don't you forget it. Actually, I liked everything about this scene. Bitch, if you want to mess up, cool. We'll mess up together. Because what you're not going to have me do is being at this house worried about what you got going on. I'm telling you, I don't like it. Your ass is still here? Fine. We'll be here together. We'll be here together, okay? Come on in. I really don't think that Glenn was That Glenn was attractive. Child, I don't know what you're trying to say, Bernice. Let me know. Rewrite it. You don't think that Glenn was attractive to Mandy, is what you meant? You don't think that Mandy actually found him attractive? I don't know. I think she did. She entertained him for some months, maybe over a year or two. Who is Beetlejuice? That's Mandy. Remember, she was just like Beetlejuice? Trying to see who you can catch on his own, period. Bottom line is you move, I move, period. That's how she said it, and I have to agree with her. She did the right thing. I don't know what you got going on over here, but I'm going to catch you in the act because you're not going to have me at the house getting crazy, getting confused, trying to figure it out. Anyway, Woody told Latrice, unless she planned on going to get the groceries, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna give her some chores to do. If you want to be here, then you can go get the groceries. Latrice said, why would I go get groceries when we got a whole restaurant underneath this damn condo? We got a full kitchen. What are you talking about? Glenn got quiet after that, or excuse me, not Glenn, Cliff. Sorry if I said Glenn. Cliff got quiet after that, which I was like, yeah, so you're trying to make up excuses to get her out the house now. What this is giving is that you got somebody hiding under the bed or some shit that you're trying to get out of there real quick. Either way, Latrice said, you want me to get them groceries? I will. No problem. I'll get the groceries. Either way, this is what you need to know. We come together, we leave together. We're going to be together for a minute until I find out what's going on with you because I don't trust you. That's all you need to know. I don't trust you. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to have you. I actually like the scene. I thought it was good. Next, we have Tambra and Dean. Tambra is coming through. This was one of the bossiest scenes I have seen in a minute. Okay. Now, I told y'all last week, Tambra did a move on Dein, which she emasculated that man. That's how I described it when I watched it. She was sitting there. He had the baby on this lap. And she said, I don't know what the hell you got going on. Okay. You don't plan for this. You haven't planned anything for us. You know, I'm a planner. My baby got a college fund, a life fund, a trust fund. She started naming all these fucking accounts. The mind was just like, Lord, child, I don't know how we got in this conversation. And after a while, he dropped the baby and went up the steps. Okay. Now Tambra is sitting here with a money coach, is what this man calls himself. And Tambra, like I said, bossiest shit I've seen in a minute. Tambra invited Dein, who does not like to talk about his money. She said, you about to come in here and talk about this money today, okay? I don't give two shits what you don't want to talk about. But this is what this scene is about. And he didn't even know. He didn't even know what that was, why he was there, okay? He came in, hugged Tambra, actually said, I know Swole, okay? We know each other. But I didn't know he did money coaching. I didn't know what this shit was about. Anyway, Tambra said, I took some shit out of order, okay? Usually first comes love, then marriage, then the baby and the baby carriage. She said, right now, I won't even marry Dein because I don't know what he's working with. I don't know what he has in the bank. So he better not put a ring on my finger. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because I don't know what he has going on, period. Okay? Oh my God, my heart. I'm loving Tambra this season. Yes, Tambra, baby. She's hitting every mark. Anyway, after she goes through all that, Tambra says, listen, I invited the money coach here because you don't like to talk about your finances. And, you and I are just from two different cloths right now. I know what I'm trying to do for our daughter's future. I just want to know what you plan to do for our daughter's future. And that's when the money coach says, listen, because Demond didn't know what to say. So the money coach helped pull him out of some shit. He said, listen, money goes hand in hand with our manhood. We are providers. So if we can't provide and you come down on us, then, we start pulling back. And that's what you got right now. You got a man who's pulling back because you are questioning his ability to take care of you and to take care of this child. So Tambra said, oh, okay. Now Tambra's very smart, but she said, listen, I never heard it said that way. And actually, Demond said, thank you. Thank you. He said, thank you, Swole. Thank you, Swole, for saying it like that, because she wouldn't hear it like that anyway. I would have never been able to tell it to her that way, but that's the truth. I've always been the person to take care of people. I took care of my mama when I was a kid. When my dad stepped out, I was the one taking care of things. That's all I've ever known to do, is hustle for the moment. I get money for the bills right now. I get money for, maybe the bills next week. It never occurred to me to save. So that's not a part of my profile right now. Now that I've met you and you're talking about saving, now that's what I want to do to show you that I can. That's why I've taken on these multiple jobs. Tambra says, cool, I appreciate that. The money coach said, well, do y'all have an account for marriage? And Tambra says, do we need an account for marriage? The money coach said, yeah, shit, you got an account for everything else. If you want these things to happen, it costs money. You should definitely also be having accounts for those. Tambra says, listen, at this point, I'm nervous about even putting my name on a joint account with Demond. Excuse me. I'm nervous about putting my name on an account with Demond. I don't know. That's how scared she is to be with this man. Tambra, I don't know if you want to be saying things like that, because I always fear for y'all, because I think that somebody's going to slide into these DMs and pull that man right up from under you. But he got 2 or 3 jobs right now, so he's trying, girl. Don't put all his business out there. Anyway, Demond says, I'm not going to steal money from the baby. And she said, but are you going to steal from me? Pop, pop. That's all I heard. Pop, pop. She smacked that man so fast in the face. Tambra cannot help herself. Every time she says one thing, and she says it with a huge fucking smile on her face. So maybe she thinks she's lessening the blow. Baby, she smacked the hell out of Demond when she said that. Anyway, he just drops his head in shame because he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do with Tambra. Anyway, he tells her, listen, I'm here. I'm here now, and I am preparing for our future, for our child's future. Basically, you got to trust me. I'm late to work right now. I'm working so fucking hard. I'm late to work right now. Anyway, Tambra said, well, you go on out there and get that money, baby. Yes, yes. I'm happy you at work. Go get that money, okay? In confessional, production said, do you want to marry Demond? And she said, we'll see. We'll see. I can't promise shit, okay? At the end of the day, I don't know if he's going to make the cut. If he doesn't show and improve, it's never going to happen. She says to Demond, I'm going to back up off of you for now. I didn't realize that, I was putting too much pressure on you, that I was emasculating you. And he said, listen, I am inviting you into that part of my life. She said, you're inviting me because I am going to ask you questions. He said, yes, I want you to ask me questions. That's cool. I just don't want you to be so fucking hard that you are telling me about your 80 million accounts. And I'm trying to, work on my 3rd account or my savings only account. Anyway, it was an excellent conversation. I know a lot of y'all be asking for these grown up moments between two people who, are trying to stick it out with each other. There you have it. That was a grown up moment. Let's see. somebody had said something. I don't think that Glenn was that attractive to Mandy. He probably paid her compliments. Watch the scene again with watchful eyes and then look at the last. Glenn is attracted to someone on the show. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. That's a dumb place for Mandy to put herself if that's not where she wanted to be. But she did say she liked him black and a little bit ugly, and that does fit Glenn. That fits him to a T. And I'm not, just a little bit, not a lot, but he has, a smidge. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, Glenn is not ugly. I said a smidge, just a tad, not a little bit is not completely, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Look, I think most of us, when we say a little bit ugly, we just mean not pretty. You know what I'm saying? You don't want a pretty looking man. Some people do. I personally don't. I'm not into the pretty men thing. But yeah, he's a masculine looking man. So that's it. Don't take offense, Glenn Child. A smidge. That's actually a sign of character. Okay. Anyway, I like the scene with Miss Tambra, Tambra and Dean. I thought it was an excellent scene. Good, good, good. All right, let's move on. Glenn pops up on Woody over there at his restaurant, Mr. Cliff himself. And he's there to get to the truth. He wants to know why they set him up. Listen, don't take this as an offense because I know how people do this shit. But pretty men, they don't have a lot of, they don't have to do a lot. Glenn has some character. You know what I'm saying? He's funny to me. And he doesn't even have to try that hard for some reason with Leticia. Anyway, let me get back to my story. Glenn pops up on Woody at the restaurant, aka Cliff. He basically wants to get to the bottom of the pool party. He said, listen, Mandy's confession, all that shit, I'm not so sure your wife didn't have something to do with it. You can't tell me that she didn't know. Your wife goes to see Mandy when she go get her hair done. So how is it they didn't talk? How is it they didn't know? Cliff said, well, let's say she did talk and know. I don't know. First of all, the fact that they actually put subtitles under Cliff when he talks is hilarious. Glenn is a character. But he said, even if my wife knew, oh well. I actually appreciated Cliff in this scene. He said, what my wife and her friend do, I don't have no control over that. You messed up when you got into it with that other girl and you was fucking angry. You let everybody know that you was guilty from that point. Otherwise, you wouldn't even gotten angry about that situation. Okay? Glenn said, I might have lost a little bit of control, but that was because I was tired of the bullshit. Then he goes on to say, bottom line, it was Latrice, because Glenn need to blame somebody. It was Latrice who basically set me up, and y'all supposed to be my friend. I was at your house at your invite. You were supposed to be my friend, and you let this go down at your house. Cliff said, you got to move better than that then, because what another woman is going to say about you out of some jealousy or Whatever's going on, okay, trying to get your ass back doesn't have anything to do with me. Yes, it happened at my house, but there isn't anything that I'm taking responsibility for. And I'm sorry this shit happened to you, but I'm not responsible, and Latrice isn't responsible. Let me just say kudos to Cliff. Cliff was talking a little faster than I'm talking right now. I can't master that accent, but what he basically said was, that's your fault. And if you don't want to get caught out there, then you need to handle your shit better. Because I can't tell you what my wife's friends are going to say and do when you are in our company. Period. That's not my wife's fault. You was at my house, yeah, but you should have handled that. You knew. We didn't know. My wife said she didn't know that Mandy was going to do that, and I believe her. I sat there the whole time like, not Big Cliff. Big Cliff straight up pep-happed Glenn again, okay? Anyway, Glenn said, listen, I'm having an event with Tisha at the end of the week, and you're not invited. You're not invited, okay? He said, I need to make sure this goes off without a hitch, and I don't trust y'all, so you understand, right? Cliff said, I'm cool, and you still my friend, okay? I'm cool, and you still my friend. I understand. Here's the end of the day. Cliff got into a confessional and said, at the end of the day, you got to go home to your wife. That's where you sleep. That's where you, so I understand. You got to go home to your wife. Well, you can call me and your wife won't even know. So I don't mind. I don't mind that you didn't invite me to this event. Who gives a shit? Okay. Just, handle your business and make sure there isn't anybody at this other event that's going to bust your ass out too, because we didn't have anything to do with that. Okay. Come on in. Come on in. Latrice wrote those questions, or production wrote them. Cliff loves his relationship with Glenn. Are you trying to say that Glenn and Cliff? Absolutely not. He is still married. That's true. That's true. Glenn is still married, but Glenn is looking for someone to blame. And the bottom line is, if there was nothing in the text messages, you don't need anybody to be the fall guy at all. You are gaslighting your wife when you tell her there was nothing there, Leticia, and then go to another man's wife, or go to another man and say, your wife did something to me. Your wife set me up and my wife up, and we treated y'all like family. We thought y'all were our friends. He said, we are friends. We are friends, but you're not going to blame me, and you're not going to blame Latrice. That was all you. And you made your ass look even more guilty when you flipped out. Because if you weren't guilty, if you said it was no big deal like you claim it is, then you wouldn't have done all that. So I know you. So I know exactly what you was up to. Anyway, that's how the scene ends. Cliff said, you got to go home to your wife, but you can call me on the phone later without her knowing. So if you want to talk to me, you'll talk to me. If you don't, you don't. But I'm not going to take responsibility for your bullshit. And I have to agree. Moving on, Selena decides that she's going to take the Bells and the Bows down to the house that her son Quincy was unalived in. Okay. She said that after she talked to that medium, she was ready to take the next step, and that she had not been to that home in years. So she said going there was a little bit of a trigger, but everybody on the cast was there to support her and help her. Okay. A hit dog will holla. That's what he looks like, a hit dog. Anyway, when they get to the property, Selena actually shows everybody in the group a space that was outside of the house that she said she found Quincy wrapped in a blanket. She says someone cared for him. She don't know who or what, but he was wrapped in a blanket when they found him outside of the house. Then Cliff said that Quincy used to work for him and that he was always a good guy, and that his heart breaks for Selena because he knows how heavy that has to be for her. And all of the friends, all of the Belles and the Beaux, they all supported Selena as they walked throughout her son's house, looking at areas where things might have happened, the trauma might have happened. They said that it looked like doors had been busted in and maybe people kicked it, or there may have been a fight prior to him being unalived and him being taken outside of the house. Latrice says that she wants to offer a reward to help bring the killers to justice. She said at the end of the day, there's enough people in that room that can raise enough money for a reward. And she said, as long as everybody pitches in, if they come up with a number and, you know, the friends can't fill it, she said that her and Cliff will, because that's what she wants to do for her friend. She doesn't want her to worry about who's out there anymore. She wants it to be brought to justice. Money talks. Okay. And Selena breaks down in tears because she feels so supported in that situation, and she's just still grieving her son. So I thought that that was a really lovely gesture for Latrice, who said, I don't have children, so I can't put my grief on the same level, but I do know what it is to lose someone, and I can't even imagine what it would be like to lose someone and know that the people responsible were still out there. So she said that that's what she was going to do to make sure that that case didn't get forgotten about. So we shall see if the medium is right, child. They bring these people to justice, okay? Anyway, moving on, let's talk about Glenn. So Glenn is at the house, okay, with Leticia's mom and his stepfather. And they are all waiting on Leticia to come home. Now, if I'm not mistaken, in the first scene, Glenn told Leticia to clear her day. I don't give a shit what you have going on at work. Clear your day so I can take you to the moon. Okay, that's what he told her. Well, Leticia decided to go to work, and apparently work was awful for her. Okay, she had a lot of shit going on, but her mom and his stepdad are there, and they are dressed really well. Glenn is wearing a nice suit. Okay, and then Glenn said, listen, I got to call Dr. Monroe. I got to call her and let her know what's going on today. This is the first time he's deciding to invite Dr. Monroe, but he's feeling real good. And he said, I'm going to invite Dr. Monroe to this recommitment ceremony. And when he gets on the phone, she said, it's going on today? Like, why would you tell me today that this is what's happening today? And he said, well, you know, it was supposed to be a surprise for Leticia. Then he tells her that he had Leticia's event planning team help him bring his vision to life for the recommitment ceremony. Now, I don't know what happened in between, or I guess he said some shit like they were supposed to reach out to you. And she said, ain't nobody reach out to me. I don't have no emails. I don't have anything. Glenn, are you sure you talked to them? He says, yes, I gave them my vision. She said, did you reach out to them, follow up with them after this to find out if they were doing what you asked them to do? He said, no. Now his parents, the mom and the dad, are sitting out in the yard like, mother, you can tell that they're worried for Glenn because they know that shit didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen. Anyway, Maria's like, that shit's between y'all because I don't really have a whole lot to do with it. But she tells him, good luck. I know that you having this party. I'll do what I can, Glenn, but good luck, okay? Give me a call if you need something. He hangs up the phone, and the parents are like, that didn't sound good. He went, no. Now, I did tell them what to do. Anyway, they're standing outside in the driveway, waiting for Leticia to pull up. And baby, before the car got in the yard good, the mom and the dad hugs Glenn and tells him it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, son. You got this. Yeah, it's going to be okay. Anyway, after they said that, I was crying because I went, not them trying to console you before the conversation is even had. But he goes over to the car And she gets out, she said, why you dressed like this? What you got going on? He's like, well, I got a surprise for you. She said, well, what is this surprise? Because people have been calling me and asking me. They were nervous for him. They were. I howled. But he said, she said, people have been calling me, the hairdresser, the event planners, about a surprise that's supposed to be for me. Am I supposed to plan my own surprise, Glenn? So Glenn was like, be happy. Put a smile on your face. Why you just smile? She said, Glenn, I've been working all fucking week. You know what I had to go through this week. And now you're telling me that there's a recommitment ceremony? I don't have a dress. I got the dress. Don't worry about the dress. She said, nah, Glenn, this ain't right. So Tisha starts walking off because she's pissed. And she's trying not to be the Incredible Hulk, because we all know that when Leticia gets mad, she turns green. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that she was giving us the camera Leticia, not the real Leticia that is going to pop out. That's why them parents was so nervous for Glenn. Like, well, it's going to be okay, son. Just do you, okay? They go back into the house, and I'm thinking they took shelter. But when Glenn and Tisha goes back in the house, Tisha says, listen, what type of mess is this? And she's right. She says, what type of mess is this? Why would you think you can pull this off, right? And Tisha tries very, very much to give him a very gentle conversation. She says, I don't want to seem ungrateful, Glenn. I don't. I really don't. But what the hell is this? If there's a surprise for me, I shouldn't have to plan it. And Glenn, who at this point should know just to apologize and say, Tisha, I know it doesn't sound right now, but I'm going to need you to trust me. Like, take control in this moment. He doesn't. This motherfucker says, do you want to do it or not? Because I can stay home. What the fuck? Glenn, why would you do that? Tisha, who is in shock, not because she doesn't expect this from Glenn, because this is exactly who Glenn is. She's in shock because typically when this fucker gets out of pocket like this, she has a bat or something to reel him back in my opinion, because they fight. I can tell by this entire conversation. Leticia was trying to pretend like she was being gentle with Glenn. Leticia, this ain't even the real you. That's why Glenn was more hostile than he needed to be, because he knows the real you would have went the fuck off. He thought he wanted to take you to the moon. You was about to take his ass to the moon, period. Come on in. When he said, do you want to be in or out? I said, no, he didn't. Okay. Tisha said, wait a minute, Leroy. Okay. He said, I don't care, Leticia. Do you want to go or do you want to scrap it? Scrap it or do you want to go? He kept yelling at her like that. Leticia, that's when she starts fussing, but still not doing it in the tone she wants to do it in. Okay, because Glenn was being very patronizing at this point. It was almost like he wanted her to get the fuck up out of here, because that's the next step. When you try to act like you're doing me a favor, buddy, take that suit and some more suits and some undies and whatever else you got going on and take it on down to Mandy. Because you know what you do plan right? You plan cheating right. You plan sliding into them girls' DMs for years right? So don't do that to me. If this was something you was trying to do to show me that you appreciate me, I'm going to need you to change your ringtone, partner, because that shit was awful. Who the hell are you yelling at? Okay? Child. Anyway, Glenn gets so high off his motherfucking horse that he literally, and I'm not even supposed to be cursing, or off his horse, he goes walking outside fussing like he always do. We see this time after time, season after season. And Tisha said, "You not so fast, buddy." Okay. She goes behind him. And while she's behind him, her mouth is a moving. Okay. She said, "I deserve more from you. I deserve more." Okay. You should have put more time into me, but you put my ass on the back burner. In the meantime, Mandy gets the best of you where she feels comfortable enough to say that she's attracted to you. And don't lie, Glenn, but I got to get the scraps of Glenn. So Leticia's saying all the right things. This is exactly what would have happened if this happened to me, okay? But she tried her best, try to keep it under control while at the same time letting him know, don't tell me to scrap it. Don't tell me, do I want to do it or not? You should have had this organized. You should have called the right people. When my team is calling me and asking me to finish details that your ass started, you're the problem. You're not taking accountability. And when she said you're not taking accountability, Glenn said, "I'm not going to take accountability. I'm not taking responsibility for shit." And then she gets upset. She walks back. Glenn said, "Take this mic off. Get these cameras out of here." Glenn's so pissed. This is what, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th time we've heard Glenn say, "Take these cameras out of here." Glenn is good for telling them camera people to step when he doesn't get what he wants out of these scenes. That's your problem, sir. She ain't lying. You should have had this shit straightened out. It would have taken you 2 seconds to call that event planning team back, gave them a budget, told them what was up, but you didn't. Okay, come on in. He spoke to her the way he should have spoken to Cliff. He ain't talking to Cliff like that. Why would he talk to Cliff like that? Tell me, girl. Because Cliff got his ass together. When he said you ain't invited, he said, "That's cool. I still think of you as my friend. Good luck and be better." Good luck and do better, child. Um, did Glenn run the Cliff afterwards? Not that I could see. Anyway, Leticia's fuming mad. I'm assuming that the camera crew was told to get the hell up out of there because they did not do a scene with Tisha to get her thoughts. Okay, so they were ran up out of there. And I am sure somebody higher up in production said to Glenn, "Get your ass down to the lake or the beach or wherever the hell he was having this recommitment ceremony. Get your ass down here to this waterfront because we already got a camera crew down here. This is what's supposed to happen. If Leticia comes, good for you. If Leticia doesn't come, we are going to film your ass being stood up at the altar of the recommitment ceremony. But either way, we're getting our footage. Don't tell us to go, bitch. You go. Y'all are here to film a show, okay? Anyway, kudos. That was a real scene, and everybody got kicked out afterwards. But Glenn should have been really kicked out, okay? So anyway, after that, we get a small scene with Marie, who goes to visit Cedric, okay? And Cedric has that 20 twin bed mattress on the top, on the rooftop of his Altima or whatever the hell he driving. Anyway, he is tying rope around this damn mattress and he throws it over the top and tells Marie, "Watch out, Marie. It almost hit her in the damn face, Cedric." But Marie says her and Cedric has been having an awesome time since they decided to recommit to each other, and that he's taking her seriously now that he moved that damn twin bed, or not even the bed, baby. I guess the sleigh bed stays. He's moved the mattress out, though. I don't know. There better be a different bed in that mofo next time. Okay, y'all got plenty of time. From what I'm understanding, y'all are filming the next season right now. So hopefully y'all get a new bed. Anyway, come on in, come on in. He loves Cliff more than he loves his wife. Baby, the second he told Cliff, he was straight up with Cliff, wasn't he? You're not invited to the ceremony. Okay, Cliff, you hurt my feelings. Soon as he said that, I was like, not you being upfront with Cliff about the damn he's not invited and the reason why. I don't want your wife and Mandy. I don't know who's going to show up. I was like, look at you with all this transparency. Good point, girl. Honesty, transparency. What else did Leticia ask for? He was valued, he was honored, he was all the things that Leticia asked for in that scene. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Anyway, Marie thinks that she has a good one in Cedric. She thinks that he's gonna straighten up and fly right. We'll see. Okay, now we are at the end, and Glenn makes it to the waterfront. Okay, you see beautiful boats out there. He said, well, at least the chairs are here. At least the chairs are here. They got about 6 or 7 chairs set up, and there's some sort of event van that's pulling things out. But he said he has texted and called Leticia 30 fucking times, and she has left him on red. She has left him on red. She refuses to answer the phone, and he doesn't know if she's coming. He's upset. Like, I really think that I'm going to be left at the altar by myself. And he's right. He has every reason to think it. I asked y'all to take that poll, and now we're going to look at it together. Hopefully y'all voted, child. Hold on. Let me get the poll up here. I like for everybody to see it. Okay. I asked y'all if y'all thought that Tisha should have turned down the recommitment ceremony the same way Marceau did to Tisha when they were in Vegas and they wanted to Tisha wanted to do the vows, and he said, absolutely not. He said, we going through some shit, and that's not something I'm going to do. Okay. I asked y'all if y'all thought Leticia should have done that with Glenn. 51% of y'all said yes, because Glenn barely apologized. He don't even know where he went wrong with Leticia. He only knows where he goes wrong with Cliff. Okay. 26% of y'all said no. She needs to stick with him. Okay. And she's not leaving anyway. So who gives a shit? And then 22% of y'all said y'all was herding cats. So it is what it is, child. That was funny. Anyway, Marie, Cedric shows up, the parents show up, and then finally Tisha arrives. So she does come. Personally, I thought that I think she shouldn't have gone. I think that he wasn't serious. At least if he wanted her to think that he was serious, he wouldn't have made her feel bad about her problem when she was complaining. Like, don't make her feel bad. You did fuck up. This is your second time effing up. What good feelings is she going to have around this? Nothing. So I thought that it probably would have been better if she would have stood his ass up, and she would have had a little more to talk about next season. Hey, Kevin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway, Tisha shows up. She seems to be in much better spirits with her mouth, but her eyes are saying something else. In fact, she's boring a hole into Glenn's ass, okay? Glenn is so happy to see her. He runs down, gives her flowers, and she goes, oh, okay, flowers, interesting. Okay, great, great, okay. She looks cute. She got on her little hot pink number. I'm not so sure it's the dress that Glenn bought, okay? Facts. Facts. I would have been like, let me go get myself a massage and have somebody massage the crook out of my finger, my trigger finger, okay? Let me have someone massage that out so that there won't be no problems later. You know that she can't do him like he does her, because he would have been out the door. So anyway, after she makes that whole conversation, like, oh, okay, flowers. Oh, there's Marie. And they run over, they hug her, they try to, girl, get your face together. The way a friend would do, child. Get your face together now. I know he fucked up for show, but he's trying. And then everybody starts having a conversation about how they remember Glenn before he was the Glenn that started trying. I don't know what that was about, but they ended up standing on that little podium. And Tisha says, Glenn, I want to be with you, but you got to make loving you a lot easier than what it is right now. Okay. I want to be loved. I want to be respected. I want you to be truthful with me. I need honesty from you. I need to be valued. I need you to honor me in this relationship. All the shit that you give to Cliff. You know how you wake up in the middle of the night and say, I was just thinking about you? You give Cliff a call? I want that. I want that. Okay. You know how you call Cliff ahead of time to make sure he's not embarrassed or walking in to some sort of, death trap? I want that. I want that too. I want you to understand me when I'm trying to tell you how I feel instead of belittling me and gaslighting me and treating me like I'm fucking crazy. But you go over there to the Rogers household and talk to him. In fact, Cliff said, listen, bitch, my relationship is never going to break up with Glenn. He has to do or be over there with his wife, but he can call me and his wife will never know. So he's still in a relationship over there with Cliff. Okay. You don't remember that part? Oh, she said all that. Now, the Cliff part, I did take a little creative license, but she definitely said, I need you to do all these things for me. And Glenn was crying and saying, I love you, Tisha. I do honor you, Tisha. I will, Tisha. And then Leticia says in confessional, this is Glenn's last recommitment ceremony. If he doesn't do right by me this time, it's his last time. Okay? Apparently, as a paralegal, she can file her own divorce. Okay? Who knew? Come on in, come on in. Then that's when we get Latrice and Cliff. Now they're at the restaurant. And Latrice said because the pool party went so horrible, she wants to throw a second party for all the bells and the bows in order to get the bad taste out of everybody's mouth. And when she was in Biloxi at the girls' trip, she feels that her and Tisha were moving forward, like they were going to work on their relationship. So she wanted to do a good thing and have this second party with just the bells and the bows. That's it, to show that she was moving forward with Leticia. Anyway, the only people that showed up was Carrie and Matt, Selena and Tambra. Selena and Tambra came solo. When they asked Latrice where everybody else is at, didn't you invite them? She said, child, I've been inviting Leticia all week. I've been inviting Leticia all week. I've been calling her and calling her. I fully expected them to be here. I'm not sure why they're not. And she's feeling away. You can tell she's actually feeling bad. That's when Cliff pipes in and says, listen, they having a recommitment ceremony and y'all, we weren't invited. Okay. Me and you weren't invited, but don't feel bad about that shit. It is what it is. We're not invited. Okay. And Latrice gives a look like like she's kind of lost, but she's not giving it too much. Whereas the rest of the group, Matt, Carrie, Selena, and Tambra, they said, well, hell, why didn't we get an invite? Even though we appreciate you inviting us over here to the restaurant, I would have rather seen that damn recommitment ceremony. Why didn't we get invited? Cliff shrugs his shoulders like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Matt says, hell, she's probably trying to make sure everybody stays good. Okay. Because last time we was all together, we know what happened. So he doesn't want any more problems. It looks like he tried to have a small little get together. And they start cracking up. From that point forward, they are making all kinds of jokes about Glenn and Leticia. Tambra joined in and said, child, doesn't it seem crazy that every time Glenn gets caught, he does some grandiose apology? And then she started talking about him and his rap career and how he tried to make do a solo rap to Leticia and all the shit. Okay. Like she's like, it seems like it'll be a little easier if he just kept his dick in his pants. Why is it every time? And I'm okay with not being invited to this shit. Y'all know how I feel. This is Tambra's position. I don't need to witness this type of stuff. If he would just get his shit together, it'll be fine. Then Latrice pipes in and she said, which one is it? A tiger never changes its stripes or a zebra never changes its stripes? And Cliff said, both of them. And then everybody starts cracking up again. They are all sitting at this table, drinking, okay, eating, being merry, laughing at the Pearsons. Okay, it's fine. We weren't invited, but now we're about to laugh our asses off at how many times you have forgave that man and how many times he turns around and tried to do some shit like this. And he barely pulled this one off, period. Okay. But that's how it ended. I actually like this episode too. I give it a solid 10 out of 10. We get the reunion next week. I think it's a 1-episode reunion. I'm pretty sure of it. They didn't have that many episodes. Anyway, let's see what y'all got to say. Right. They were laughing the same way we were laughing. That's how I knew it was real. Because I said, this is real life shit. This is exactly what you do. Okay, ho, you didn't invite us, but now you've given us a license to talk about you because now you got us all congregated here thinking you was going to show up because we was trying to be here for you and you didn't even show up. Okay. You want to see her love herself, this love she's begging for, ain't it? Welcome to the world, baby. That's what everybody got to learn to do is love themselves, child. Unfortunately, there's more people that don't than do. Let's see, they needed more episodes than Love and Mirrors Huntsville. I don't know why they didn't get the episodes this season. I do know. It probably was some sort of fallout with them losing their last cast and then also them thinking they didn't have enough story to carry the season, but they actually did. It was a good season. It was a good season. I hope they feel proud of themselves. And yeah, I liked it. Again, I know we talk about these people and how dumb they are and all the things, child, but it plays out generation after generation for a whole lot of folk. In fact, more folk than not. Okay. Until you get it right, you'll be reincarnated. She'll be reincarnated as a whatever God wants her to be next. And she'll still be trying to figure that lesson out. That's something that she has to figure out though. But that was the show. Okay. It was excellent. Congrats. I have to say, I don't know how old they are. I thought they were like in their 40s, but I'm getting the impression they're in their 30s. Glenn and Leticia. And even though they've been together for a very long time, they're still young. They're still young folk. And I'm explaining it. They're still young folk and they got to figure it out. Some people don't. You start getting into the 30s and 40s, and that's when you start making different choices. I do believe that Glenn and Leticia are still in their 30s. So maybe they're just not there yet. But anyway, it was a great episode. And I appreciate y'all for coming over and hanging out for this review too. Y'all already know what to do too. Hit my like button, share the video, please and thank you. Okay. Follow me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. If y'all missed my review, the review I did on Love and Marriage Huntsville earlier, check it out. I dropped a whole lot of gems. Thank you to all of my moderators. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.